I am trying to grow the glutes. This is actually something that all of us bikini girls are trying to do. So come with me to work out. That was probably bad. Just because someone's a pro doesn't mean they're still not intimidated or still fearful of what people think of them. You might feel like you're your best look and you might look shredded. You know, that's not what boosts your confidence. I think a well-balanced person needs to have more things than just fitness. Obviously, fitness should be your overall priority because that is going to help you with longevity of life and quality of life. Your confidence comes from your relationships, maybe even your profession and how you feel about yourself outside of this. Because if you're ever injured, if you can't train anymore, you don't want your whole identity wrapped up in that. You know, there's more to you besides just training and having a fit body. That's something that I've had to learn over time, that I have more skills and more talents than just a stage. You can hide it, 'cause I feel you, never let you go. Boy, I know I love is strong. And when you are able to break that fascia down, break down scar tissue, you're able to expand your muscle past that. So this is how a lot of people are restricted in their growth. So body work is super important. It allows you to expand that muscle fiber a little bit more past that scar tissue that builds up over time. All right, so as I do my rolling, you'll notice that I'm also opening up my hip flexors. Dynamic stretching is really important right before you train. You want to do static stretching after and dynamic stretching before. Static stretching just means that you are more in a stationary position. You're in a very fixed position like this. But dynamic stretching, if I'm going to touch my toes for dynamic stretching, you want to have a little bit of a bounce, a little bit more movement. And this is how you can prevent injury. If you do more static stretching before your training, there's more risk of injury. Okay, so I'm gonna do Bulgarian split squats and I'm also gonna do some dumbbell deadlifts. I like starting with the dumbbell deadlift just to kind of help stretch out the hamstrings a little bit more right before I get started. All right, so real quick, just wanted to share how to do a dumbbell deadlift or any type of deadlift. You could have barbell as well. When you're coming down, you want to keep that weight very, very close to your shins, to your thighs, your shins, all the way down. You're not going to the ground, you're actually stopping right below your knees, but you'll notice that my back is flat, okay? I'm not hunching my back like this. This is how you're gonna pull and injure your back. So you wanna actually flatten that back, keep the weight close to your body, and as you come up, there's gonna be a hinge motion with the hips. So you actually want to thrust forward with the weight. Your arms are in a fixed position, so you're never bending the arm at all. You're just simply using your glute to thrust the weight forward. So I know 75 pounds doesn't look like a lot for a lot of people, but we have to consider I'm about 115 pounds. So this is actually pretty heavy for someone my weight. So just something to consider here. All right, so same thing that I was talking about earlier. Gonna come down and thrust forward with the hip. All right, finish that set. Now we go over to dumbbell deadlift. I did 25 pounds, or sorry, Bulgarian split squats. I did 25 pounds with that one. So we're gonna try to go up to 40 dumbbell split squat. I personally like to hold the weight up a little bit higher. That way I can focus more on my legs doing all the work.
Pretty tough, isn't it?
Why would someone hate Bulgarians? Because they suck. It causes a lot of stress in different ways. Not only are you pushing that muscle group, which is your glute, but you're also balancing yourself on one leg. That unilateral movement is very challenging. But activating your stabilizer muscles and then also activating your glute, you're pretty much getting like a double effect. So definitely want to challenge yourself to improve on these. I kind of like that, that belted squat. This is the belted squat. I personally love this because it does not put any pressure on my back. I personally like to get away from just standard barbell squats just because I had dealt with back pain and I just want to avoid that. So this is a little bit more glutes and less of your back. So as you come up and down, you'll notice that you're only coming up and down with your glute, and your back is not having any pressure from the top. It's only coming from the bottom. So my favorite. We're gonna load up some weight here. Probably do 25 and 25. A lot of training is going to require mind muscle connection. So you want to truly feel that contraction in that area that you're trying to isolate. If you don't feel it yourself, it's a really good idea to have someone there with you just touching that muscle, because that makes a huge difference where you feel stimulated. So I do a lot of mind muscle connection. I can feel proper contraction of my glutes. I try to keep my chest upright so my legs are doing all the lifting, and so that way my back's not doing any of that support. All right, first things first, just gotta make sure this is on the hip just fine. You're gonna pull out your bar. Don't pull it out too far because it will come out. And we're gonna go deep into a squat. This kind of reminds me of like a baby delivery machine or something. Okay, so for this machine, there's a belt that's included, but I don't use it. I tell my clients and anyone that's trying to feel a movement, if you don't feel it, you need to reposition your body, because not every machine is made for every body. So you need to make sure that you are adjusting your position to accommodate where you want to feel that weight. So for example, with these, the standard position is to put my back all the way back here and to come straight down. For me, I feel that more in like my hamstring area, which that's not what I'm trying to hit. So I personally like to lean forward. I put my elbows back here just to make sure that I don't fall, and I go straight back here. Lean forward, and now I'm hitting my upper glute, which is exactly what I was going for. So don't be afraid to reposition your body to make this machine work for you. I always say your last 2 reps need to be a pure struggle, and you definitely want to lift till failure, and that was it for me. So yeah, my hair is usually up for this, so I don't just walk around. Well, sometimes I do, actually. I do believe you should feel good. Like, yeah, I have my days I'm not wearing makeup and days that I just don't really care because I'm trying to come here for a reason, just to get it done. But for the most part, I enjoy spending time in the gym. And I like looking good no matter where I go. I feel like being presentable is professional, and that's kind of what I want to portray at all times. Yeah, these were made for rows, but I did it as a deadlift, and it's like perfect because it allows me to keep my spine neutral. It allows me to, like, as I come up, I'm making sure to thrust forward with my glute, so I feel that because I'm forced to stay stationed in one spot. So if you're trying to learn how to do a deadlift, get on this machine. This is amazing for that. Keeps your form and your posture. Usually my workouts are 4 to 5 exercises. It's not, maybe 6 max if I feel excited. This is not glute training, but this is lower body day for me in general. I freaking love leg extension because I've learned to actually enjoy the things that I hated when I first started. I don't see a lot of growth in my quad, so I've learned to actually love this machine because it will help me grow my quads, which is what I personally want. So I've learned to like all the things that I once hated because I actually see the benefit. The leg extension, I didn't like them because when you start seeing development and you start seeing definition, you want to highlight those muscles that you're starting to see. So like when you start seeing your delts grow, you're always going to like to do delts because you see the benefit of them. If your back is always defined, you're going to always love back. So I didn't like quads because I never saw growth, and it was more of like a resentment towards the machine because I never saw the value in them. But I've learned to love them because the more I push myself to actually do them correctly, the more growth I actually see. So yeah, I'm starting to like the things that I once hated. I hate leg days, but I'm learning to like leg days because I'm starting to see the benefit of actually prioritizing them. Okay, this video is dedicated to a guy that I do not know his name, but he gave me the biggest and the most beneficial tip that I've ever had at the gym. And this is why I love the gym family. If they see you doing a certain exercise and they can help improve your position, they'll come help you. So this is what he taught me. Instead of laying on this bench just without anything at all, he helped me elevate my hips. Put it right here, and now I can have better contraction with my hamstring curls. That has made such a huge difference with my lifts for these leg curls, and I'm able to lift heavier weight because of this tip he gave me. So if you're noticing that maybe you're not feeling it in your hamstrings the way you should, maybe you feel like you're struggling with position, try elevating your hips with something, a pad or something, just to see if that helps realign your knee to your hip joint. So as you come up, when your knee comes here, you're a little bit more elevated. So you'll see I'm in a better position where my hips and my knees have a better alignment. So now I can truly curl in a good way without sacrificing. Knees are low, so when I would come up, it was just, it's still working in them, but I'm starting to notice that like it's pulling a little bit on my knee joint, so my knee is taking a lot of that pressure, as opposed to if I had this elevated, my knees are not taking any of the pressure, it's my hamstrings that are. So something that I think is really important for all of us, not just women, but men too, is that we need to view training as an act of self-love. This is not a burden to come into this gym. It is actually a celebration. We can move our bodies, we have able bodies, so celebrate that. And instead of coming in here with the wrong mindset and thinking, I have to do cardio, I have to train, this sucks. You need to be excited about that because you're able to move yourself and celebrate what your body can truly do. Plus, there's more reasons than just dropping 5 pounds on the scale that you're here, right? You want longevity of life. You want quality of life. You want to be able to have optimal health, and you have control over that. So change your mindset and you can change your life.